Welcome to the Candle Business Coach Podcast, a show about the craft of candle making and small business. I'm your host, Kirsty Allen, and I'm a candle maker, mum of three, and kindness advocator. Join me as I dive into all things candles and small business and deliver advice and tips to you in episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Are you on the list to get my daily motivation emails? Every day I'll send you a message that is designed to help keep you focused on taking action toward your goals. Sign up using the link in the show notes. This episode is brought to you by the membership for candle makers, the Candle Makers Collective. Becoming a member gives you access to fortnightly online group Q&A coaching sessions to support you, monthly online workshops and trainings to help you grow your business, plus frequent expert guest speakers to inspire and teach you. You'll also have access to an ever-growing resource library with templates, guides, planners, and ebooks. But my favorite aspect of the membership is our exclusive Facebook group for accountability, connection, and support. So if you're looking to take your candle business to the next level and learn more about the membership for candle makers, click the link in the show notes for the Candle Makers Collective. Welcome back to the podcast, my friend. Can you believe that we are up to episode 99? We are, in fact, one episode short from 100 episodes, which will obviously come out next week. But to know that we have had nearly 100 episodes on the podcast totally blows my mind. And if you consider the fact that every second episode is a guest episode, that means that I've had 50 people on the podcast. And that is absolutely crazy to me. The connections that we've made through interviewing different guests, whether they be candle makers or experts in the candle industry or experts in business or people that just are interested in the Candle Business Coach podcast and helping candle makers grow their business, has been an absolute journey. And I'm so grateful for all of the conversations that we've had on the podcast and all the lovely friendships that have been made as well. So yes, episode 99 today is all about managing expectations in your candle business. So in today's episode, I want to do a bit of a deep dive into this crucial aspect of running your own candle business, and that is managing your expectations. Managing expectations is one of the keys to actually navigating the challenges that come your way, not only in your business, but in your life as well. But what is the difference between having expectations and setting goals? And where does reality, or stretching the possibilities of your imagination of what could be your reality, come into it? I want to talk about these aspects because managing your own expectations, as with anything, whether it be personal or in business, isn't easy, and it definitely isn't straightforward. There are so many factors involved, including emotions, if you've invested any money, how much time you've invested, your reputation, and then competition. Plus, it isn't just the case of managing your own expectations either, but also that of your family and friends, and then in the business realm, any suppliers or wholesalers, and of course, customers that you do business with. So there's a few different things that I want to go through in today's episode, but I want to start off with asking this question. It is good to have high expectations, right? And the answer is a bit of yes and a little bit of no. There's the argument that says it's important to have high expectations so that you can strive forward in life and in business. However, high expectations need to be reined in a little bit with a dose of reality as to whether they're actually attainable. So for example, I don't play basketball. So if one of my expectations is that I'm going to be a famous basketball player, it's not really connected with reality. So it's important to have that reality check when it comes to expectations. If your high expectations are backed with real evidence that says that the goal that you're striving for is doable with the resources you have at your disposal, then by all means aim high and expect the best. However, in reality, expectations are nothing more than our best guesses with a splash of hope. Mostly they're based on emotions like pride and competitiveness and desire to achieve, but many expectations are not actually attainable, and this is very true when it comes to candle businesses. Many of the candle makers I speak to have big, audacious goals and they want to, take over the world with their business, and I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that's not possible. But then when we get down into asking questions such as what are you actually doing in your business, what marketing efforts are you taking, what social media posts are you doing, all of the nitty gritty of the business and what they're actually doing, in terms of taking action, they're not necessarily taking the action, which means they've got high expectations, but they're not doing what's required to get there to reach their goals. And the biggest danger with having high expectations is that ultimately it leads to disappointment, which is not a great thing. And often that disappointment is channeled at someone else. So it could be your customers or your lack of customers, for example, rather than actually reassessing how realistic your desired outcome was in the first place. So, I'm going to tell you something that you probably already know, and that is owning a small business is exciting and rewarding, but it's also really challenging, and it can be incredibly challenging at times. So just think about it. You've got to have a business plan. You need to sort out your finances. There's the legal side of things, marketing, branding. There are so many different parts of running a candle business to make your business thrive. And these things take time. You don't necessarily have all the knowledge to begin with, and learning what you need to grow your business. You have to work hard. You have to respect your limitations, and you have to learn new skills and take risks and overcome many challenges before you actually have a successful and sustainable business. So there's a lot of different things to consider when it comes to having expectations for your business and what your goals are as well. Let's go through some common mistaken assumptions that many small business owners have when they start their business. Number one is getting rich quickly versus becoming profitable. So many people who start their business assume that they can get rich quickly, but realistically, your startup will take a little bit of time before it becomes profitable. Now, I know that there are always exceptions to the rules, and it really depends on our skills, our knowledge, our experience, how much money and how much time we have to pour into our candle business. But even the most successful companies will still take time to grow their business to actually see profit. So that's something to consider. Number two is burnout versus delegating and working smarter. I know I'm the same. My business is my baby, and I don't want to share the excitement and the joy of doing something that brings me joy and excitement. But in saying that, we need to know that if we are wanting to grow, we don't and we can't afford to burn out in the process. And that's where delegating and working smarter comes into play. So, for example, not all of us are marketing experts, and it's also not easy or cheap to hire experts from the beginning of our business. But there are ways that you can become a better marketer in your own business, and that's by upskilling and learning. So when you've got time or when you've got money to invest into your business, you need to work out which will be the best option for you. And this is going to be different for everyone, depending again on how much time you have to invest, how much money you have to invest, and where you start in terms of your skills and knowledge and experience. But knowing that we can run the risk of burning out by trying to do everything ourselves is not the fast way to having a successful business. Number three is the startup life versus work-life balance. So many people assume that business owners have lots of free time to relax and pursue hobbies, because that's why we start a business, right? To have that time freedom. But this is really true in the beginning, especially for a new small business such as a candle business or a soap business, for example. You can only expect this type of freedom once you've actually built a successful and sustainable business. And this takes time, and this takes a lot of effort. As I'm sure you already know, you'll expect to work most days of the week in the early hours of the morning or into the late hours of the evening, depending on what your other responsibilities and work situation is like. But it's important not to ignore other aspects of your life as well. And that's touching on the burnout from the previous point. You need to take care of your health at all times to make sure that you can actually run your business effectively. It's cliche, but you are the most significant investment in your business. And if you're not healthy, neither is your business. Number four is going viral versus strong branding. Many of the inexperienced candle makers and business owners I speak to believe that going viral, having a viral video on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or wherever, is going to get them profitability quicker. But the truth is that if you go viral, and not everyone does, and it's incredibly hard to do because, as we all know, we can't predict how the algorithm works. Viral videos can create buzz, but they don't necessarily lead to more sales. Yes, you'll have more people looking at your business, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're the right people for your business, and that it's your target market who will then become customers and loyal customers. So that's important to consider. What's more important is to have really good branding. Strong branding can make or break your business. So you need to think about your overall brand identity and how that will take shape over time. If your identity is chaotic and confusing when you don't take proactive steps to make it clear, it will only hurt your business. So when I talk about brand identity, I'm talking about your business name, logo, website, business cards, marketing materials, social media, all of the different parts of the business. You want to make sure everything is cohesive and basically looks beautiful, because candles are a visual item. And if you're selling online as opposed to in person at markets or in wholesale, people will see your brand first before they get to smell the incredible candles and products that you make. So it's really important that you don't leave these critical branding elements to chance. Number 5 is instant success versus experimentation. Understandably, many candle business owners fall in love with their product and assume that people will support them immediately. This doesn't always or often happen. Now, yes, you might have family and friends that are excited by your business and are willing to purchase a candle or two from you, but they won't necessarily be loyal customers in terms of repeat purchases over and over again, and they may not necessarily be your target market to begin with. So what you need to do is that you're paying attention to the products and making sure that they're of high quality. And that's the first step to building a successful business. It's also important to consider investing time into actually studying who your target audience is, to understand them as individuals. You don't want to be just another candle business selling similar candles to the same people. You want to strive to build a brand that people actually fall in love with, and know that the journey to get to a successful business, however you define success, is all about that experimentation. You might start your business and have 3 or 5 candle scents, different fragrances in your candles, and it might just be one size. But then as you go along and you start to understand and learn and know your ideal customer, you'll then begin to understand, okay, these fragrance options are more suitable to my target markets. I'm going to bring in a different scent or a new scent, trial it, have it as a limited edition, see how it sells, see how it goes, and experiment and have fun with your business. And that's really important along the way. Number 6 is unique business ideas versus the execution. Most business ideas, especially when it comes to candle businesses, have been tried before. What you think is unique, and this is not to put a damper on your excitement, but it is important to know that your unique business plan, what you think is unique, it's probably already in the marketplace somewhere. It may not necessarily be in your town, it may not be in your state, it may not even be in your country. But the fact is that there are only so many different ideas that we can come up with. There's only so many different ways of making candles and how we present them in the different vessels, the colors, the styles, the shapes, the sizes, and all of that. So it's important to have realistic expectations for your brand. Now, that doesn't mean that you should give up. It just means you need to be clever in how you highlight your brand's unique value proposition. And we've spoken about this in previous episodes, but it's important to have something that stands out for your business, and only you can answer that. Only you will know what makes your brand unique, and you need to really sit with that and think about how to make your brand, your candles, different and why it's different. And to be honest, the secret sauce, the secret ingredient, the secret key is you. No one but you are making those candles. So it's really important for you to sit down, journal your thoughts, journal what you want for your business, what your goals are, what your expectations are as well. Because once it's written down, or at least once it's out of your head, whether that's on a notepad or on your computer or phone, it means that you can make more informed decisions, because you're bringing awareness to the situation, you're bringing awareness to your business plans and what you want for your business in the future. Okay, now that we've talked about some different things to expect when you start and grow your business in terms of expectations, I want to look at 5 different ways you can set realistic expectations for your candle business. Number 1 is to set achievable short to mid-term goals. So you don't want to become overwhelmed, and you certainly don't want to aim for perfection. This is about getting things done one day at a time, one step at a time, to achieve a bigger goal. Number 2 is to create marketing strategies. You need to determine whether you want to go down the traditional route or online or a mixture of both to serve your business in the best possible way. Whether you do social media advertising, email marketing, whether you attend markets and sell your candles in person, doing these different things, trying different things will mean that you can work out what is actually working for your business. So again, it's that trial and error, that experimentation. Number 3 is to determine a realistic market size. So in terms of who you think your target market is, or who you think your target audience is, or your customer is, you need to do market research. So you need to get out there, do the work in the trenches. Make sure you're doing your research when it comes to who your ideal customer is. And I can't stress how important enough this is to get right. If you're at the start of your journey, definitely get onto this straight away. If you've already started your journey, make sure you go back and revisit who you're actually selling to. And saying that your ideal customer is everybody is not the right answer. Just a bit of an FYI. Number 4 is to create personal expectations. Keep yourself in check by setting personal expectations and have them as motivators to push you to be the best entrepreneur that you can be. And then what you need to do is actually take inspired, imperfect action every single day to get you to those personal goals so that you can reach those expectations that you have in your mind. And then number 5 is respect your limitations. You may be capable of great things, but my friend, you are only human. So learn to say no to situations that no longer serve your business. And if you've brought in a product and it's just not selling, it's okay to let it go. Discount it or give it away or use it as samples or do something. If it's not serving your business anymore, if it's not aimed at your target customer, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to try new things. It's okay to change your mind. It's all about having fun and experimenting, right? However, with all that said, I want you to still dream big and have audacious goals. There's a quote that I love that says, don't let your current situation dictate your future. And also don't let your past be an indicator of how your future will turn out. The whole process of starting a candle business and going down this path of being a candle maker is meant to be fun. It's meant to be exciting. And I feel like, especially in the most recent conversations I've had with many candle makers, is that we have so much pressure that we put on ourselves to be perfect, to find success fast, to get to our end goals as quickly as possible, whether that's financial or other factors. I want you just to take a breath and I want you to enjoy the process. So let's have a think about what we talked about in today's episode about managing our expectations. Yes, have big goals. Yes, have big dreams, but know that the process to get there doesn't have to be on the timeline that we first think it needs to be on. Things can take longer. Things can take shorter as well. Things can, life throws different challenges and curveballs at us. But I want you to just be mindful that even if you haven't reached your goals yet, it doesn't mean you're not going to, and it absolutely doesn't mean that you're not worthy of achieving your goals and reaching your dreams. So a little bit of advice for you there that I wanted to throw in there at the end of this episode. Also, I wanted just to mention a couple of things, as I usually do in these solo episodes at the end, is that the free Facebook group, the Candle Business Hub, now has over 700 members, which I'm super excited about and completely humbled by. So thank you to everyone that's part of that group. I love all the conversations and the connections that are being made, and it's such a privilege to be able to be the admin of that group and the creator and founder, and to be able to support candle makers and be able to see people grow into their business and into their dreams. I find that absolutely incredibly inspiring. Also, I wanted to mention, and if you're in the Candle Business Hub Facebook group, you will already have known this, but a couple of days ago, and that is relevant to when I'm actually recording this episode, but a couple of days ago, I mentioned that I was going to create a social media planner. That's now done. It's ready to go and it's ready for you to check out. So I will leave a link in the show notes. It is free for members inside the Candle Makers Collective, so my monthly membership for candle makers. Otherwise, it's just $7 to purchase if you're interested in learning how to better plan and organize your time and your social media for your candle business. But I will leave a link in the show notes so you can check that out. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the week leading into the weekend, and I will catch you in the next episode. Thanks everyone for listening today. I hope this episode added value to your candle making journey. Check out the show notes for all the links mentioned throughout today's show, and please subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks again for listening. Have a beautiful day.